Unmute. You guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, thumbs up. You hear me? Okay, let me share my screen first of all so that we get all the technical stuff out of the way.
You can
Share that. Okay, let's see. Slideshow.
Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You hear me?
Because I put you beforehand, if you can finish at past, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. No worries. We'll get this done for you. Morning, everybody. Welcome to Saturday morning training. It's always great to see you. There's a good crowd on today, to be fair. Currently 98, Steve. That's good for this time. And I suspect that'll go up over 110, 120 at some point, which is always good. Guys, listen. Here's what we're going to do today. I mean, I'm excited about today because Steve's going to talk about one of my favorite subjects in the business, and that is building a super hierarchy. Oftentimes it's like just a bunch of words, right? I mean, what does that mean, especially for new people? What is he talking about? Super hierarchy. So what I want you to do is, and be coachable now, right? I want you to take your notepad, and I want you to write down 3 words, okay? And when you write them down, I want you to show them, hold them up to the camera and show us that you've written them down, okay? So the first word I want you to write down is the, T-H-E, the, okay? And then I want you to write your surname. Okay, now some of you, I know, Steve Jenkins will verify this for me, will take a little bit longer writing your surname than others. For example, Mo Reed will take a second. Mo Reed, right? Short name. Some of the others, these double-barreled names, will take a few moments longer. But do please write that down. And then the next word, the last word of the 3, is hierarchy. So, for example, the Reed hierarchy is what you would see there. So when you've written that down, I want to see, I'm looking at this screen now, guys, so I want you to hold it up so I can see
hierarchy.
How many of you are coachable. 1, 2, thank you, Denise Gerling. Mo Reed still writing, maybe she has a longer name than we thought. Thank you. Great. Now, listen. So what does this mean? Okay? You see, guys, in a business like ours, the reason, or I'm assuming, or I'm hoping, the reason that you guys got involved in Genestar, whether you're brand new today, or whether you're a veteran, or a founder, or whatever it is, no matter what your position is currently, what I'm going to explain to you today is where you're going to, okay? Where you personally are going to in this business, because I'm hoping that one of the reasons, as I said, you got involved was not just to, let me test this and see what's going on here. One of the reasons you got involved because you looked at the business and said, I'm fed up with being fed up. My life is financially not where I need it to be. I want more for my kids. I want more for my family. I want more for me. No, right? But that's okay. And so, now listen. Let me quick. Ain't nobody gonna come hand you money. All right? Ain't nobody gonna write you a blank check. Okay? Not your employer. Not the government. Not nobody. Nobody gonna write you a blank check, guys. This business, this Genestar business, allows you to write your own check. You see, if you're not where you're at right now, it's not my fault. It's not Genestar's fault. It's not Steve Jenkins' fault or your upline's fault. If you're not where you want to be right now, then you need to start plugging in order to get the goodies out of this. You need to start mastering the system. And you need to start applying the system. You look at some of these people on these leaderboards this morning, and boy, I'd tell you what, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, a year ago, these people were sitting in exactly the same spot as you going, what's happening? What's this all about? My life, financially is not where I wanted to be. And they made the decision to master the system and apply it. And that's why you're seeing people on these leaderboards with, £10,000 of income a month, £20,000 of income a month. That's why you're seeing this, guys. It's not an accident. It's not that they're any better than you or me or anybody else. It's the fact that they built the credibility within the system and then applied it. So as you look at your notebook now this morning and you see those words, your surname, hierarchy, I want you to understand that 12 months from now, that is going to be your reality. If you plug in, now seriously, that is going to be your reality. You're going to see your name on these leaderboards, not as somebody making 500 quid a month as a team leader. You will see your name on there as a vice president, with your vice presidents making £10,000 and £20,000 a month. That's what the word for me, hierarchy, means in the context of our business. That's what it means. When you look at Andy Onstead and what he has done, and I mentioned his name because he's the most recent recruit in terms of Genistar, and the way that he's constructed and built his business within 5 years from zero to, I don't know what it is now. It's growing so fast now. I think he's around about $1.5 million a year in income. The guy sold out to the system. He has a hierarchy in place now. The Onstead hierarchy is never going to stop generating income for his family, ever, even after he passes away. And this is where it starts. This class that I'm going to go through with you today is where it starts. And when I said to Steve and to IT a few minutes ago that, I predict that we're going to be somewhere between 350 and 400 recruits this month, I base that on the fact that last month we blew past the predictions that we had. And this month we've got momentum on our side. We've got bunches of new people coming in, lots of people shooting for 3x3. Man, I'll tell you, if it's not between 350 and 400, I'll be very, very surprised. That's why I'm predicting it. Now, if you take just 10% of what I'm going to teach you today, you're going to be on course to contributing to that 350, 400. Your name's going to be up on these leaders boards. I promise you that. So let's get stuck into this, because I know I'm going to be pushing for time this morning and getting this done for you. So recruiting is the cornerstone to our business. There is nothing that can go wrong in your life, business-wise, that recruiting will not fix for you. Because when you recruit a new person, you get a new top 25 list, you get a new FGP. Everything falls into place when you focus on the recruiting side. And building a hierarchy is very, very similar, because it involves, at least initially, a hard push, a hard sort of speed in recruiting. Because from that recruiting will come your hierarchy. So understand this, guys. Our business is not a profit-driven business. Listen, that sounds crazy, right? I mean, that sounds nuts. How could anybody in business say that you're not profit-driven? Well, I can tell you we're not. You see, one of the things that Genistar and Primerica understand is that without people, we don't have profit. Without new blood, we don't have profit. See, our business is not driven by profit. It is people-driven. Because once you figure out that the people-driven aspect of this, everything else falls right into place where it's supposed to be. And that's why most people never get ahead in this business. They don't figure that one out. And so I know that it's sometimes when you're getting started, it's a little bit cringy, a little bit, oh, can I do this? Guys, get over it. Get your ego out of the way and sell out to the system of recruiting. It will change your life. So Genistar is primarily just a distribution business. We use, I mean, if you think about something like McDonald's, for example, they're all big distribution outlets. That's all it is. I mean, it's not about burgers and French fries. It's about outlets. And every time you recruit a new person, you're developing a new outlet. So we're not about insurance or education, investments, mortgage, all that sort of stuff. Yes, that's an integral part of what we do. But it's not the core. We're in the distribution business. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, they sell the distribution rights to other companies. Coca-Cola doesn't have a factory, nor does Pepsi have a factory where they make stuff. They just sell the recipe to companies that manufacture it and create the distribution. Pepsi owns restaurant chains around the world, and not many people know that. McDonald's sells the right to distribution of their system. That's how they make their income. It doesn't sell food. The individual business owners sell the food. So if you're thinking about building a Genestar business, think as if you are selling distribution rights of our company. You're the one in the distribution business. And the uniqueness of it is that it has a promotion system where you and your people can build equally throughout the system. Because the promotions are based on results. They're not based on who you know, how friendly you are with Steve Jenkins or Jeff Litz, how pretty you are, where you come from. They're based on your activity. They're based on the results that you achieve. So it's not company political, like most corporations are. You can move as quickly as you choose. Everything is based on the numbers. And of course, the results are based on the Genestar month, not a calendar month. One of the most unique parts of this hierarchy, this building this super hierarchy, is the ability for you to build other outlets. And we use what we call management exchange to achieve that. See, traditional businesses, I want you to think for a second if you were a chef in a restaurant, right? So you've got this job and passionate about being a chef, right? And you go into this restaurant and you give it your best, 110%, whatever, and you end up having your own restaurant. Okay? Now, you're going to need some staff, right? You're going to need some sous chefs, you're going to need some kitchen staff, you're going to need some front of house staff, cleaners, accountant, all those sorts of things. You're going to need a lot of people around you to have a successful restaurant so that you can focus on what you do best, which is the cooking. Now, as you do and work your best, guess what's happening, guys? The sous chefs, the people that you've hired are watching you. They're learning from you. They're sucking in your expertise. They're figuring out why it is that you're successful, why it is that you're such a good chef. And one of the greatest things that I ever learned in business was when Bob Senior said to me, Jerry, if you want to be successful in business, find an expert and do exactly what they tell you to do. And that's exactly what your staff are doing. They're watching you. And the ones that are sharp and ambitious, they're copying you. They're seeing how you do it. They're watching how you get the results you get. And if they are ambitious, at some point they want to move off into their own restaurant. And what happens? When they do, they'll come shake your hand and say, thank you so much for everything that you've taught me. I really appreciate it. But man, I'm ambitious. I want my own restaurant. And they'll quit. So now you're down some skill sets that you have to go find and replace. That person who's quit is probably going to open up a restaurant pretty close by you. Why? Because that's where they're well known. They're going to take some of your staff. They're going to take some of your client base. You just trained your competition. You've given your competition the leg up to take away some of your business. It's crazy when you think about it. With management exchange, you do the opposite. You see, you can train your ambitious key people who later will become your competitor, as I said. Take other trained staff from your business. No income is raised from developing the industry leaders. You're constantly starting your business over with new people. And it comes to the point where it's difficult to trust employees with all your business knowledge and success. See, in Primerica, one person recruited 16 directs, which then yielded over time 63 first-generation vice presidents, which developed into over 700 vice presidents, all through this system of management exchange. See, when someone you develop becomes an EVP, they leave a seed with the promoting vice president. So, for example, when Steve Jenkins promoted, I don't know, Arvin Burgos, for example, I'm not sure who it was who took replacement, but I think it was Mel Bergani. You see what happens there? There's always a replacement left behind, so that there's no loss to you, or sorry, to your EVP in promoting you. So that vice president is rewarded for developing leaders. Currently, that's the reward is 7.5% of that leader's production that flows to the promoting vice president. Promoting a vice president in our business, does not experience loss by developing leaders. New EVPs pay the price once by giving up that replacement, then reap the benefits by receiving a management exchange for every single EVP that they develop. So this is a promotion system that pays the person that promotes every single time. It also encourages leaders to work with new downline recruits, because obviously the more people you promote, the more activities created, the more outlets are generated, the more income is generated. And it gets everybody working towards the same goal of developing vice presidents. So it also develops an ongoing source of leadership. So it pays to build wide as well as building deep. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, building wide means recruiting direct to you. So they're direct recruits to you. Building depth is helping people build through their contact lists. That's building deep. Each one is equally important in your business. So, in conclusion to this, guys, I want you to think seriously about where you're at today in your business. Let me just check real quickly the time. Steve, I'm going to be done real early, Steve. So, in getting this this understanding of this business model into your psyche, and working on the basis that you don't have a lot of time to create your hierarchy, guys, I promise you that things will start to change when you implement a recruiting policy into your business. Things will start and change for the better. You see, every one of you right now, including me and Steve and everybody else, we're all at different stages in our business careers. We're all at different levels in the company. But guys, here's the awesome thing about this. Every single one of you will be where Steve is, where Alan Palmer is, Dolly Bright is, and it all comes down to you just making that one decision. Are you going to sell out and master it? And so when you look at your notepad now and you look at, the McGivern hierarchy or the Reed hierarchy or the Jenkins hierarchy, I want you to visualize in your head that 12 months from now, you're already at the pinnacle of your journey. You're at a vice president level, which now takes on the role of promoting other vice presidents. And each one that you promote builds an outlet that will provide you and your family with income and financial stability, and more importantly, financial independence for the rest of your natural life and those of your family. Because this doesn't stop after you stop. This continues its journey. It's almost like it's impossible to put a stop to this thing. It takes on a life of its own when you get to the vice president level. Because other people that are coming up through the ranks, guys, they're just as hungry, if not more hungry than you are. They will get to their vice president position. They will build a hierarchy. And if you're not in place, or you don't have the things in place to override that, then you're going to miss out. I hope that helped you. I really, really do. I know it was a little bit intense and full on today, but boy, I want to give Steve a lot more time than he allocated, to be fair, because he's going to go through now how you actually put all these pieces together. But the starting point, the reason for me doing this morning is to get your head in a place now where all you're thinking about is recruiting. Recruiting. That's all you need to think about. As I said at the very start, everything else falls into place the moment you make the decision to have recruiting front and center of all of your activity. Can you imagine? We currently have 134 people on this call right now. 134 times 3. This is why my prediction that I gave earlier on is so important. If every single one of you made the decision that you're going to make recruiting front and center, and you went to the workbook today and you pulled out that page that has the magic question, and you went out today and you talked to 10 total stranger people just by making a quick introduction of how you doing, nice to see you, whatever it might be. And before you left that conversation, you said, by the way, who do you know that might be interested in making a strong second income or even a career change if the money fell right? I'm currently working with somebody who's recruiting. Would you know anybody who would be in the market? That's all you say. They're going to say yes or they're going to say no. It doesn't matter. But guys, the ones that say yes, and you get them in front of your upline or your vice president, and they recruit them, if every single one of us today made the decision to talk to 10 people today, I promise you, you will end up with at least 3 people that says yes. And if everybody got 3 yeses today, we would have 402 recruits to add to this month's current total between now and month end. And that's the reason that I predict higher than what IT and Steve did. Because the company has momentum. Make no mistake about that. With the things that these guys are putting in place behind the scenes with Michael Cody and Paul, whatever his name is, I forget his name now, and these people that come and are bringing the skill sets that is going to take this company into orbit. Man, I'm telling you, it's going into orbit. We have the opportunity to take advantage of their coaching and their skill sets. And the reason that we with this opportunity is because these guys have done this before. It's not like it's new and they're trying to create a new system. They're coming from credible background. I would not be one bit surprised that if at some point this year, this company doesn't go to 1,000 recruits in a month. I'm telling you. Now, you got to ask yourself the question, how many of those are going to be in my hierarchy? How many of those are going to be future leaders in my hierarchy? How many of those people am I going to override on my journey to financial independence? Hey, listen, guys, thanks a bunch for listening to me. I hope you got something out of that. Please keep that page, the McGivern hierarchy, keep that page, keep looking at it. Because those 3 words, those 3 simple words, if you stay focused on them, will help you get over the hurdle and get your 3 recruits before month end. Because those 3 recruits is the start of your journey to building a super hierarchy. Have an awesome weekend. Have an incredible week ahead. And we'll see you all Sunday night. Take care. Steve, back to you.
Thank you, Jerry. Really good. Thank you very much. Some real wise words there Lots of wisdom there for you. I hope you're taking notes, and I hope you've got yourself now into that studious mode. And I want to kind of, before we go on to the leadership stuff, I want you to, and I'm going to go through some updates as well. But I want you to, kind of get your mind right, because I'm going to go through quite a bit of detail now. So, for some of you, particularly you A-type personalities, you need to turn off your distractions. You need to turn your phone over. You need to be with a notebook and pen. And particularly those of you who've been here less than 6 months, some of it's going to be a little bit overwhelming for you, and then that's okay. All right, and don't get put off by that. All right, I'm going to break it down into tiny pieces. We've got plenty of time now, and if there is time at the end, we may even have some questions. Okay, so. Which is a good thing. So what I want you to do is I want you to get your mind in the right place and just they say, don't they, how do you eat a whale? Well, one mouthful at a time. And we're talking here about you and your family and future generations becoming financially free, financially independent. All right, so just want to give you that precursor here. This is not kind of like a magic pill. Boom, you listen to me and 100 grand a year comes in. You got to go to work. All right, you got to put the effort in. All right, well, we'll come around to that in a sec. Okay, so the late, great Bob Safford Sr. Used to deliver something called How to Build a Super Hierarchy. And I remember the first time I saw it, it really did change my life because it gave me a detailed step-by-step plan in order to put my hierarchy in place. So the hierarchy now has got about 45 vice presidents. And it really all started when I first saw this. It started in my mind, is what I'm pointing out. And as Jerry's kindly set up for me, is you've already written down the name of your hierarchy. If you've got a team name, like we have the Giants, it's the Giants hierarchy. So your team names, put that name and the hierarchy. Or just use your surname for now if you haven't come up with a team name. And, as childlike as that is, those of you that haven't done that probably are not going to build a hierarchy. Why is that? Because thoughts are things. So when you think something and you kind of put it down on paper, all of a sudden the thought has materialized in the first instance as a piece of your handwriting. You have no idea subconsciously how big that is. It's huge. I guarantee you it's a huge step forward because in your mind's eye, you've created the image. You've used your imagination, which is childlike. But unfortunately, we all go through the education system and come out the other side with intellect. Intellectuals are not entrepreneurs. Intellectuals very rarely become financially independent. It's almost impossible for a highly intellectual person to master money, to master success, because it's not using your brain, it's using physicality, it's taking action on things in the real world rather than the hypothetical world. All right, so I want you to get in the right zone and the right mode and take on board, because this changed my life and many others, and it could change yours too. Step one is you have to have a clear, concise mental picture. We call it CCMP for short, which is stretchingly realistic. Yeah. I've got my eyes on a house that I want to build and kind of have, and the money is so stretching. I'm almost at the point where I'm not sure it's realistic. So I'm still, in a quandary about that. But at least it's stretching me. You might have something that I always remember Graham, a guy that worked for me many years ago, part-time, and his major goal was a set of wardrobes. And it cost about £1,000 to build these wardrobes. It's realistic, but it's not stretching. All right, you need something that stretches you a little bit. And that you need a compelling reason to why you're in Genostar. You need something so strong that gets you to win. No matter what happens, it keeps you focused. It keeps you focused. Now, if this one bypasses you, the rest is theory that I'm going to show you today. But having a goal that moves you emotionally forwards and gets you to take action is, I'm telling you, 90% of the battle. Because when you want something so badly, even when you don't know how you're going to achieve it, somehow you manage to do it. Put a number 4 in the chat if you've ever had a goal and you've had no clue how you're going to get it and how you're going to achieve it, and yet you did. You managed to do it somehow, some way. There's evidence then for all of you that have had that. And those that haven't, which is not very many by the looks of it, trust me, you can achieve whatever you want if you want it badly enough. So you've got to work on that desire. You've got to find something that compels you to win. Now, the reverse of that is that it feels like there's something out there that doesn't want you to win. You've got to stay strong. It's a test. Yeah, for those of you, who read the Bible, read Ephesians 6. It's all in there. Those of you who are Irish, it's called Murphy's Law. Yeah, it's just, there's lots of different things in different cultures that says the same thing. If you're from a different culture, then pop it in the chat. What are these things that just for whatever reason, whatever you do, it just seems to go wrong. These are frustrations that are a test. It says, before you can have a testimony, you have to have a test. These frustrations are inevitable. Challenges are good things for you. They're very, very, very important to you, because without those challenges, what would happen is it would become incredibly easy. So you have to have this driving force of nature that's fueled by this goal that you've got, coupled with the desire and the unbelievable focus to get going. Your recruiting explosion starts with you. You have to put your hierarchy in place. It's not down to other people. It's not down to me. It's not down to your vice president. It's not down to anybody. It's completely and utterly down to you. Just bear with me. I've got an intruder. Hang on a second. All right. Now, the good news is there's a structured approach that you can take in with regards to your learning and with regards to your activity. So we're going to start with level 1. Level 1 is where you recruit one person a week. All right, you sell out to it. You sell out to that. You just bring one person a week into your business. And that can be direct to you, or it can be someone from your team. If you're doing one a week, you've mastered level 1. Yeah. Now, when you're brand new, that's you introducing people to your upline or your vice president, and they're doing the heavy lifting with you. And they're doing the follow-up interviews and getting them to do their application and onboarding them, right? Now, you've got to watch that. I know when I'm working with a winner, when they watch me and then they start asking questions on how to do it. I struggle sometimes when someone just goes, oh, can you just do it for me? Can you just do it for me? Can you just do it for me? And I'm like, yeah, sure. But if they're not watching me, they're never going to get past level 1, because they're never going to recruit the one person a week themselves. When you've got somebody on your team that's doing the recruiting, you've got a business, right? So one person a week, sell out to it. That is your job to get past the level 1, right? One a week. Right. You're going to find out soon enough. I might as well tell you. You can't control anything in this business apart from recruiting one person a week. Because I'm telling you, not everybody you recruit's going to make it. It's a sad state of the human race that most people are not looking to work hard. They're just not. They're looking for a shortcut. They're looking for a fast track. They're looking for a magic pill. Yeah. It's just the way the world is. It's always been like this. It's the same in every country in the world where not everybody has a work rate or a work ethic. So you can't control what other people can do. The only thing you can control is recruiting one person a week. You do that, and it's like skiing downhill from here because you're going to have more than enough people to work with, more than you can probably cope with. But what you'll be doing is you'll be finding your winners. So you've mastered one recruit a week. Level 2 is to recruit 10 people a month. Now, when you and your team are recruiting 10 people a month, that's double-digit recruitment, we call that. That is a huge barrier. I know that I'm working with an EVP candidate when someone can recruit 10 people a month as a team. Okay, not personal, as a team. This is what we call the preparation stage. You have not arrived. You haven't built your business yet. You're in the preparation stage to start your business. You recruit 4 people a month personally. That's 1 a week, and 6 are coming from your team. Now you may be doing the interviews for those 6 that are coming from your team, or if you're still part-time, your EVP will be doing a lot of that for you. But there comes a transition when your EVP's doing it for you to start doing it, okay? And that comes from you watching, observing, and practicing doing it until you've taken over that part of the job. When you've taken over that part of the business, you really are in the apprentice stage of becoming a vice president. So you've got level 2 sorted out. Level 3 is about mindset. You see, the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is simple. Unsuccessful people blame their circumstances as the reason for their lack of success, while successful people organize their lives and circumstances so they can become successful. It's amazing how many things I've heard over the years. And initially, you kind of empathize and sympathize with people. But eventually, once you've been doing it a while, you kind of go, yeah, I've heard that one before. And in fact, I haven't heard one new for a long, long time. There's lots of. I'll give you some simple ones, but the biggest one is time. Yeah, I haven't got enough time. Well, that's rubbish. Yeah, we're talking about 8 hours a week. The average person watches television more than 8 hours a week. Yeah, an hour and a half is far too long to watch a business overview. Well, how long's a movie? How long's a football match? Yeah, they're an hour and a half long. What's more important, a football match, a soap opera, or a movie, or financial independence? So just please do not accept people's excuses and reasons and circumstances for not succeeding. Mary Lou's having a fantastic month this month, and I'm really proud of you, Mary Lou. We're going to be asking you to come on in a week or so's time to talk about that. But understand her circumstances when she became a vice president. Maybe she'll tell us about that next week. Are the most outrageous circumstances you're ever going to hear in your life. She'll take away every flipping excuse anybody's got. All right? So don't blame your circumstances. What successful people do is they organize their circumstances so they can become successful. It's all about mindset. I had 2 people in Crawley once work with me about 20 years ago. One of them said to me, Steve, I cannot do anything in January. January is always a tough month for us because we sell beds and we have more people coming in the shop and I'm just rushed off my feet. And I kind of went, yeah, okay, fair enough. So he can't do much in Genostar that month. And then another guy in the furniture shop said to me, Steve, Genostar this month's going to be fantastic. Do you know why? Because it's January, it's the sales month, and everybody who's coming in the shop, I'm going to get their name and telephone number, and I'm going to book them in appointments for the evening. I'm going to have my best ever month. And what's the difference between those 2 people? Mindset, the way they think. The way you and I think will dictate where we end up long term. Organize your circumstances so you can become successful. That's Earl Nightingale. There's a 40-minute recording on YouTube. It's free. It's called The Stranger's Secret. Don't mix it up with The Secret Thing and all of that stuff. It's from the 1920s, I believe, a recording that was originally on a vinyl record, and it was on the old 78s, I think they were called. I grew up with 45. Some of you don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay. Earl Nightingale, YouTube, The Stranger's Secret. That's an extract from a 40-minute talk that he did that changed my life back in 1989 when I first heard that. It made me think, right, I've got to organize my life so I can become successful. So you're organizing your life and circumstances and you're shaping up to go full-time. You're recruiting 8 personal recruits a month now when you're full-time. That's 2 a week. Direct to you, keeping the recruiting machine pumping. Now, at this point, the frustrations and people no longer bother you. It's part of the business. You know, you stop saying things like, can you believe it? This person didn't show up for an appointment. Can you believe it? When they joined the business and they disappeared. Can you believe it? You know, people have got to team leader and they disappeared. Can you believe it? People have got to group leader and they disappeared. Can you believe it? Someone got to EVP and they disappeared. Yeah, all of those things no longer bother you. You see them as part of the business. It's just you're numb to it. It's all part of it. Yeah, there's no difference to any other organization. When somebody joins the army, not everybody makes corporal. Not every corporal goes on to become a sergeant. Not every sergeant goes on to be a captain and above and above and above. Okay? Not every school teacher becomes a headmaster or a headmistress. Not every person that joins a bank becomes a bank manager. Not everybody that pays a gym membership actually goes. Did you know that? Right here in this town where I live in Red Hill, Alan Palmer lives here as well. We have a place called Donnings. My ex-wife used to run the membership. She told me that 200 to 300 people turn up to the gym, apart from January, obviously a lot more. 200 to 300 turn up to the gym and the swimming pool and tennis courts and all the other bits. How many people pay for the 50 quid a month direct debit, do you think? 7,000. 7,000 people. That's 6,800 are paying every month and don't go. That's people. It's not the gym. It's beautiful. People who join Genostar are going to quit on you. People are going to pay the £99 for the privilege of doing nothing. Now, Jenkins family's received £2.5 million from Genostar in the last 16, 17 years, maybe more. If I add it up again, it probably will be. But initially, it just came from 3 individuals, Arvin Burgos, Ching de la Cruz, and Daryl Harper. And Daryl recruited Bevin Wind. Arvin recruited Mel, who recruited Dolly. All these names. Alan Palmer's come in now, and he's the second kind of senior leadership that's being developed, or part of it. And that's how you build a business, but you've got to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince. And when it took me a long time to accept that, because I thought I could train everybody to vice president. Work with the people who deserve it, not the people who need it. It will save you years and years and years. Don't get frustrated with it. Embrace it and accept it's part of the game. Level 4. You got to get to 17 recruits a month. When you've built an organization that's doing 17 recruits a month, your business has just started. Let me say that again. 17 recruits a month as a team. That now means your business has just started. That's the starting line for your business. That's £100,000 a year coming in within 12 months. The £2,000 a week will start to roll in, and once you've done it 52 weeks in a row, on average, that's when the 100,000 comes in. Okay, so IT Asamoah just hit £2,000 in a week. Yeah, Vivian Godslove hit £2,000, not last week, the week before. So now all of a sudden you get that £2,000 a week coming in every week, and you're on target to earn 100,000. That's how it works. 17 recruits a month is what does it. It's the starting point. So you haven't started to build your hierarchy until you've reached this point, because now you're developing EVPs, right? Inside the 17 recruits a month, which is 50 a quarter, there's one EVP candidate in there somewhere, right? That's a fact. Our business, we don't treat people like numbers, but it's a numbers game. It's mathematically predictable. We know that. According to everything that I've read and everything Bob and Art Williams said, 2% of people are the success machines. That doesn't mean you're not part of the 2%. Of course you are. You're here. Yeah, you are the 2%ers. You're here. Now, to fulfill that potential, you've got to go to work. And you've got to build something that starts out at the starting line, 17 recruits a month, which is 50 recruits a quarter, which is 200 a year, which means you've got 4 EVP candidates in there. If you don't believe me, don't check out the leaders board with Bevin Wint's hierarchy over the last couple of years. He's promoting EVP after EVP because he's got a factory of 200 recruits a year or 17 a month. And from that, he's identifying and finding winners. That's how you develop people. You find them first. And you can do exactly that by following these 4 levels. Level 5, 30 recruits a month. Your premium should be doing £20,000 to £30,000 a month as a base shop now, as an EVP. Now you're starting to get the SVP in your sights, because now you're moving towards that 35 by 35, and you'll be producing vice presidents by default. You'll be producing vice presidents by default. Because out of those 30 recruits, we know 10 are going to disappear immediately. You know, another 10 are kind of coming to training and not doing much. And we find the other 10 you can work with. And out of that, you're going to find 1, maybe 2 people who have got good circumstances, good work ethic, good attitude, and want to win badly. Yeah, and they've got a good market perhaps as well. Or they've got the ability to go and get a good market, and away they go. When you find people like that, it changes your life. Yeah, that dream of passive income, of 5 or 6 holidays a year, living in your dream home, you know, helping people that you know need help in your family, and then starting to put a foundation together to provide for good causes, maybe sorting your church's finances out, or your mosques, or some other, you know, worthwhile organization or charity. You know, it's amazing by just following this system and becoming a results-orientated person instead of a theory-orientated person, how you can change yours and everybody else's life around you. Level 6. It's 50 recruits a month as a base shop. You know, this is where I know Alan Palmer's heading. This is his goal this year, is to get his base shop up to 50 recruits a month. I'm trying to hang on to his shirt tails and get there before him. It's a bit of a dogfight between us. But the exciting thing is that when you're on 50 recruits a month, you're finding 1 EVP candidate a month. Now, national sales director, senior national sales director happens a lot quicker through the management exchange that Jerry was explaining, that people tend to flock together. You know, birds of a feather flock together is a phrase which basically means that if you find a winner, they probably know other winners. And those winners know other winners. So when you recruit somebody who recruits somebody who recruits somebody who recruits somebody, you could find 6, 9, 10 vice presidents in the form of management exchange that turn sideways and become direct to you. You only need 9 full-time executive vice presidents direct to you to be a senior national sales director, making $250,000 a year and beyond. That's all. Just 9. But you have to recruit a lot to find 9. So the 6 levels are to do with results. Okay? You and your people have a skill set based on 4 different groups. You and they need to develop these skills, or you and they will forever be dependent on your upline support. The game plan is to develop independent business people who could run the whole show themselves. So you can have a life and live on passive income. Yeah, so right now, Bevan Winter's starting his show. He's doing his Saturday training. Yeah, Arvin Burgos is doing his as well. Yeah, and the idea is to develop other people who can run the whole show. They'll have, one day you'll have your own. When you've got, 10 vice presidents, get yourself your own Saturday morning training. So there's 4 groups. Group A is where you have no team, no referrals, but you're licensed. Okay, you're assessed competent, you're licensed. Now that could be because you're brand new right now. It could be because you just haven't got it going. You've been around a while. You must find somebody to talk to. That is your job. If you're in this group, you've got to find breathing people and talk to them. Build friendships, build contacts. Kind of develop your people skills. There's a fantastic book, if somebody could get the link for it to Amazon, to help you in this, called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's the granddaddy of communication. I read it in 1987, first ever book I read, a self-help book anyway. I could obviously read before that. But the first self-help book I read was How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And it helped me speak to people in a big way. It really transformed my life. So, another way is you can speak to your upline or your vice president and borrow some referrals. Now, underline the word there, borrow. All right, borrow is the word, okay? Now, the way that works is that he or she will give you 10 referrals. You now owe them 20. Well, why do we do it that way? It's because we don't want you to be what we call a lead cripple. We don't want you to be crippled to the point where you're dependent on your upline. So they give you 10, you better get referrals and master the referral system with those 10 so that you then give them 20 back. And vice presidents, don't be generous with this. You're actually creating a rod for your own back. You just give them referrals and go, oh yeah, you can have them. That's the worst thing you can do to anybody, because then they'll just go, can I have another 10? Alan and I were on a call with some vice presidents at 8 o'clock this morning, and one of the things that stood out is one of the vice president was doing was recruiting someone and saying, right, can you now go and get some people? Can you now? No. You've got to make calls with your upline. Yeah, you've got to make one until you have the confidence to do it on your own. And if you're losing confidence on making phone calls at the moment, get with your upline, get with your EVP, and make phone calls together. Because you're going to catch the success. You see, success is caught, it's not taught. Yeah, you might know all the scripts, but if you're speaking like that and you're a little bit down, it ain't going to work. You've got to be enthusiastic, right? You've got to have a coach that's kind of in your ear saying, try it like this. Change your tonality here. Become a bit more excitable here. Tone it down a little bit here. So become highly skilled at the 3-foot rule. I'll be honest with you, it's not something I thoroughly enjoy, but it's something that I do. When I was at dinner with Michael Cody on Thursday night, the waitress came over and she made an impression. She was really good. She was very personable. She was fun. So I just said, how long have you been here? She said, I've been here for 6 years. I said, wow. She said, but it's not all I do. I've got a job in I think she said a care home, helping people. I said, oh, wow, you like helping people then? She said, I do. I said, well, you've got a great personality. I hope you don't mind me saying that. But, I'm looking for people right now. I'm hiring. I'm looking for people who are good with people. Are you open? She said, well, what is it? I said, well, we teach financial education, but you've got a job to do here. It's typically £1,000 to £2,000 a month, working a couple of evenings a week. Maybe we could take it offline, as it were, here, and we'll have a conversation. She said, I'll write my number on the back of the receipt. And guess what? There it was. The receipt, her name, Kerry. I'm going to be calling her this afternoon. Okay? So become highly skilled at it. If you're 4 foot away from someone, get closer. Okay? The second thing you can do is practice presentations. Take the presentation, even if you've just joined. You don't have to be licensed to practice the presentation. Just take the presentation, watch the training video on the back office. If you don't know where it is, ask, or go hunting like I do. If I can't find something, press buttons and find it. You see, most people say to me, I can't find the video. And I then show them and they go, oh, I didn't see it there. And I said, you never looked, did you? And they went, no, not really. Yeah, shame on that person. Anyway, practice presentation. Just practice it over and over again. Do you know what happens when you practice the presentation? You get more excitable because you get excited delivering the education to people. It makes you feel good. You're doing something worthwhile. You feel good about yourself, and the person you're delivering it to feels good also. And wow, all of a sudden I did 17 of these when I first started. 5 or 6 joined and 5 or 6 became clients. I can't remember which. And now all of a sudden I was at senior team leader. Yeah, I got promoted from team leader to senior team leader doing the practice presentations. You can do the same too. Just got to have guts. You just got to have some courage. When you have some courage, you get over it. You get your ego out the way and just start pressing the buttons to deliver that education. Now, here is the number one thing, is learn the third-party referral system. Yes, we've got social media marketing now. Yes, you can use the 3-foot rule. Yes, you can use practice presentations. But if you're looking to put a hierarchy in place, you cannot avoid learning the third-party referral system. It's impossible. You have to learn it. And it's genius. It's a license to print money for yourself and get a community financially educated. It's unbelievable. The first time I saw it happen, imagine this, I've been 16 years in the financial industry, and I was overjoyed if I got 3 referrals, happy if I got 2, and satisfied if I got 1. Now I get 15. Now I can get 20. People have seen me get 30, 40, 50 referrals from one client. Alan Palmer does similar. Richard Nanakin, I don't think he's on today, but he got 55 from one client last year on one occasion. You can do the same if you master it and understand it. You've got to go to work. You have got to learn it. It's all on the back office system. I'll give you a clue where it is. When you click that orange tab, it's under the Vitality Academy. Click in there, the Genestar Success System, and you'll find it. So if one of your team is in Group A, then train them with the training triangle. This is why you don't leave your people to their own devices. You use the training triangle in their market, which is basically calling their market together on their telephone, on loudspeaker, over Zoom, and they're saying, look, I've got someone here with you right now. I think you'll get on well with them. Please listen to what he's got to say. And I'll then say, well, your friend Kevin has just joined Genestar, and out of all the people he knew that would help him get licensed, he said you were probably the most likely. We'd like to show you the financial education that he's learning. You don't have to get involved. In fact, you're not allowed to. You would have to invite us back if that was your desire. We want to deliver the education. We want you to give us a grade and just give us some feedback to help Kevin get signed off as a license with us. Boom. You do a bunch of those. Some of them are going to go, whoa, this is pretty good. I want to join. Whoa, can I have one of those financial plans, please? Now you split the referrals that come from that 50-50. So you, as the person who's in Group A, gets half the referrals, and the new person who's in Group A gets the other half. That's how I built my referrals of thousands, by field training people and splitting the referrals. You build your team with the third-party referral system. You build your referral bank with the third-party referral system. You build your 6-figure income, your hierarchy with the third-party referral system. As good as social media is, it'll never replace the third-party referral system, I promise you. So Group B. If you've got questions about Group A, write them in the chat, and looks like we're going to have some time. Group B, you have a few people on your team. You've got 20 to 30 referrals, and you have 3 to 4 people engaged in your WhatsApp group. You can see they comment, and they turn up for training, and they love it. They're in it, okay? So that if that's you, then you have to focus on, guess what? One personal recruit a week or 4 personal recruits a month. That's it. One a week. You still haven't. You're still on level 1. Remember, so you can be in group B, but you're still on level 1. You've got to master that 1 recruit a week. Focus on getting lots of referrals. Go from 25 to 55. Go from 50 to hundreds to thousands. That's what you've got to focus on. You've got to master the third-party referral system. When you master it, you have more people to get to you can possibly cope with. £100,000 a year is a slam dunk. Now, I used to think a year ago, and I've got a lot of time, I've got a lot of gratitude to Vivian Godslove here. I thought, until she came along, that the third-party referral system was about me training it. I'm not training it right. How can I train it better? Got nothing to do with that. Because with virtually no training, what happened was Vivian went online and she watched all the videos associated with it, and she became an expert at it. So she's got hundreds and hundreds of them now because of her attitude, because of her desire, because she organized her circumstances. She found the videos and she just pressed play and she watched and she learned and she learned and she learned and she learned. And it just taught me a massive lesson. I can say to every single one of you, go and learn the third-party referral system. It'll help you become financially independent. Only 1 in 50 are going to actually do it. Only 1 in 50, 49 out of 50 of you just won't find the time. You'll be too busy. You'll be asleep. You'll be too tired. You'll be putting the bins out. You'll be making a cake. You'll be cleaning the house. You'll be, all of that. Yeah, I understand. You learn the third-party referral system. You can pay for a cook, a cleaner, and someone to do all of those jobs that you're using as an excuse. Go and learn the referral system now, or or forever be part of that 95% of people that get to retirement age broke. Don't become one of those people that's gone to broke school for brokenness. Okay, please go and learn it. So if you've got 40 or more referrals, there's a change now. There's a shift in your style of management. If you've got 40 or more referrals, you train your top 2 in your market, your 5-star market. So Vivian's now at this stage where she's training people in her market. And to delegate the other 2 to others. So if you've got 4 recruits that you've recruited, 1 a week, that's 4 in a month, you train 2 of them in your market, and the other 2 you give to people to train. If they're any good, they'll come back as a management exchange, but train the top 2, the people who've got good attitudes. You like them, they like you. Yeah, your instincts now are telling you these are the best 2. Now, you could be wrong, but train those 2 in your market, and the other 2 you give to other people in your team to train. Do Bob said something which changed my life again. He said, and it's just popped into my head. He said, if you can get 4 people who are half as good as you, that means you've got double as good as you in your team. Because 4 halves are 2. People don't have to be as good as you to start with. When I watched Alan Palmer deliver a scoop many years ago, he was awful. It was an absolute dog's dinner, okay? But now he's better than I am. You've got to have faith in people, and you've got to let them do it badly. Because before you can be good, you've got to be bad. And before you can be bad, you just got to try. Recognize people trying, right? I know that Sam Braga did his first sale last night, and I bet it was a dog's dinner. I didn't see it, but I bet it was all over the place. It doesn't matter. He'll get better the 2nd time, even better the 5th time. By the time he's done it 20 times, he'll be as good as Alan Palmer. So you train the top 2, delegate the other 2. And you go into, so they can go into their market using the training triangle. So, Vivian, you go and train your top 2. The other two you delegate, you train those top 2 in your market, your clients. So you're not splitting sales now. So now your income is doubling, it's going up. Now they can go into their market, and their recruits market using the training triangle and using the practice presentation. If you have less than 40 referrals, then you've got to go back into their market and start splitting it 50-50 until you get those referrals up. Now you're starting to concentrate, right? Because it's getting a little bit more complex. I want to put that for you to take a photograph, because that's the first one that's kind of, that I get all the questions are coming. It's on this one. All right, let's do it again. You recruit 4 people. You train the top 2, and the other 2 you delegate to team leaders in your team. All right. So those teammates can go into their markets and start using the training triangle. So you're training your team leaders now to split the referrals with that person that they're training. Okay. If you have less than 40 referrals, go back into other people's markets and start splitting them 50-50. Group C. You have a small team, 5 to 10 engaged on WhatsApp group, starting to grow, starting to get exciting. You've got some team leaders getting promoted now. You must get 10 recruits a month. That's 4 personal, 1 a week personal, and 6 at least from the team. If you understand this, that when your personal recruitment slows down and stops, you're going to pay the price in about 3, 4, 5, 6 months' time. Because all of a sudden, that group leader is going to come up, somebody's going to come up and flank you as a group leader. And that means you're going to be on 0 override because you're going to have flanked each other, right? So while you're building that senior team leader into a group leader, you've got to be looking for personal recruits again, so that when you've got your management exchange in place, boom, you're starting now to build future legs for your base shop, so you come out strong like Rosa Ketchy did, like nobody we've ever seen before. All right, so it's important that you don't stop your personal recruitment. So if you're EVP and you're full-time, you train the best 4. Yeah, if you're a group leader or below, train the best 2. When you're full-time, basically, you can train 4 people a month because you've got the time. If you're part-time, then train the best 2 and delegate the others. You've got to reassign them. It's a better way. Reassign them to other people, put them on other people's teams. Now you're starting to get into delegation mode. Man, was I here for so long. I just was not a great delegator. I'm still not now a naturally great delegator, but I'm better than I was, and I'm going to get better still. But when you're in delegation mode, you learn that people need to qualify for your time. Do not spend time with the good-looking, high-potential ones. Spend time with the people that are getting results, who deserve it, not need it. There's nothing worse than having needy people on your team, because they just drag you down. They keep asking you question after question after question. Write this down if you're taking notes. Here's a tool you can use to stop what we call the marmalade questions. These are the ones that just go on and on and on. And we've all got them on our teams. People just ask questions, right? Are you asking me that question because you're looking to get promoted this month? Or are you asking me that question because you just want to know? Well, I just want to know. Well, good news. They've invented something called Google, and we've got a back office system that's got 1,000 hours of training on there. You'll find it all in there. Okay? But if they say, I'm looking to get promoted, great. How many recruits do we need? How much premium do we need? Well, let's put a plan in place. Work with the workers. Don't work with the needy. Don't work with the people who need you. Work with the people who deserve you. Because I'm telling you, they'll drag you down. Remember, at this stage, you're full-time. You haven't got a job paying your bills. They have. They've got an oracle of information on the back office. Their questions can be answered there. Group D. So you're an EVP now. You've got a base shop, which is your team of part-time people. You must recruit a consistent 17 recruits a month. That's the job. That's the start line for your business. Set your sights on 30. That's where, Rose is going, Esther is going. You can see the vice presidents who've just been promoted recently who are going for their 17 recruits and 30 recruits a month. Develop your people to go from Group B to Group C. So So you need to understand what these are and have written down in front of you your team and what groups that they're in, so that you can help them get from group B to group C. Help them to start building referrals, which is difficult to do if you don't do it yourself properly, right? 8 personal recruits a month, that's 2 a week. Developing a team leader every month direct to you. That's when you know you've got compound growth going on. That's when you know that if you keep doing this, Christian Dor, you'll be a senior national sales director inside 18 months. So 1 team leader direct to you a month, that gets you to SNSD in about 18 months. Maybe 24 at worst case. All right, so that's what you do. I hope you're all getting it now. I hope we're on the move now. Can you give me some feedback? Because obviously I can't see you. Most of you got your cameras off. Probably doing something else. I don't know. But give me some feedback. I tell you what. Can you write in the chat one thing that you've learned so far today? That'll tell me if you're engaged or not. All right, I'm going to wait. All right, Chetney's got recruit. Work with the worker, not the needy. Yeah, recruit. My group. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, okay, Tunde. Obviously, you've worked out what group you're in, right? Mary Lou's got 17 recruits a month. Now, that's exciting. Now we're on the move. Now we've got it going. Fantastic. All right. So Group D, you get 30 team leaders wide, and then you work with the best 2 every month. Never, never, never go into anyone else's market when you've got more than 100 5-star referrals. It'll drive you nuts, and you're at a level where you don't need to do it anymore. You train people in your market, because now all of that income is yours. And they need to deserve to be in your market. They need to be the people that are on the move. They're not the people who are just going, could you see my market for me and split business with me so I can get some money in my account? You know, leave that to your field trainers. Leave that to your team leaders. Let them do that. Yeah? I promise you, the cream will rise to the top. The ones that want it badly will find a way. They will work it all out. People are smart. They can work a lot of this stuff out for themselves. You don't have to baby feed every single person that joins your team. In fact, I never went to a Saturday training session for my first 15 years in the business. I was basically a taxi driver for my sons, driving around to cricket, football, and rugby every Saturday morning. I never went to Saturday training, but I managed in the week to work it out myself without a back office, by the way. We had none of the technology we've got today. I had it all on paper, and I gathered it here, there, and everywhere. And it came to fruition because I wanted it badly, and you can do exactly the same. When you're in Group D, always take your best 2 in your base shop in your market. Always. You must learn to recognize if people are wasting your time. Use filters to get rid of the time wasters. Yeah, the filters are very simple. I'm busy. Can you call me tomorrow at 8:30 or 8 o'clock? Yeah, that phone call won't happen if they're wasting your time. If they're deadly serious, they will call you at the time they said they will call you. Yeah, set people challenges all the time. See, your level of acceptance changes through the time as your organization grows. So when you first start, you've got to train everybody. And then you start training the people who need it, who deserve it rather than need it. And then what happens is you then start working with the workers, the serious people who are doing really well. But you must learn to recognize the people that are going to waste your time. Persistence and patience are the keys. Stick with the system and people will develop below you, and you'll eventually have built a recruiting system that never stops. You've only arrived when you have 7 to 10 independent people direct to you, and in many ways, they're better than you. Arvin is a lot better than me at certain things. Alan Palmer is way ahead of me in the third-party referral system. He just is. You can look at Bevan Wint. Bevan Wint is a better public speaker than I am. Bevan Wint is a more motivated individual than I am. He's motivational when he comes across. Yeah. So's Daryl Harper, for that matter. Yeah. And so on and so on and so on. So you keep doing what I'm teaching here until you've got your 7 to 10 key people in. Now you can break that down a little bit, because it starts with 7 to 10 recruits. So once you've done 7 to 10 recruits, brilliant, well done. You've got that first level of independent people. The second level is developing 7 to 10 people who are licensed. The next level is 7 to 10 people who are team leaders. Then 7 to 10 senior team leaders. Then develop 7 to 10 group leaders. And then 7 to 10 EVPs, SVPs, NSDs, and SNSDs. So nobody in Genostar has got their full 7 to 10 independent people yet. But it's happening, and it could happen to you if you follow what you're being taught and actually do it. You know, it's been proven that if you're prepared to do what most people won't do for 18 to 24 months, then you can do what very few do for the rest of your life. Simply go for it.
You leave it.
Now, there might be some questions. Let's have a look. There might not. Okay. Austin's asking, if someone wants to get promoted, work with them. Those who want to know can use the back office. That's good. Yeah, well done. I'm looking for some questions. Maybe if you posted them and they're hidden in the chat, post them again. Some good stuff you've posted here, guys. You're obviously learning. It's good to see so many people engaged. You don't know how uplifting and motivating that is. Okay, doesn't look like you got any questions. Obviously, the training's been so good today. All right, well, let's leave it there. Thank you, Jerry, for today. Thank you, Maggie, for putting the PowerPoints together. Thank you guys, for being on. Don't have a fantastic weekend. Give it everything you got. We've got 11 days to get your goals and dreams hit. I'm looking forward to seeing you all at End of Month Madness on April the 2nd. And love you all. Take care for now. God bless. Bye-bye. See you at the top.
Let them fall. Rise above, stand tall. You're not defined by